when things are heating up, you need some jaldi cooling advice. And so for their captain, their main man, their talisman, KL Rahul, from my experts, Gilly and Harsha, I need the coolest advice of the match powered by Crompton Air Coolers Jaldi Cooling. Now, they spoke about how you need not look at the points table, but I suppose if I'm on KL Rahul's side, if I'm in his corner, I'll remind him of what he did between 18 and 22. Half a decade of absolute domination with the bat for different teams, of course. Those 5 seasons, Gilly, just one season he had under 600. The other 4 seasons, 600 plus. The orange cap in 2020, if I remember correctly. But this year, he's looked a bit lost. There was conversations on whether he should bat in the middle order. He's decided to open, but things haven't looked good. What does he do?
What does he do? I don't know what he should do. He knows.
Because it's a toss-up between sort of aggregation and aggression.
Yeah,
all the expression my young producers told me to use.
All I would say is, if you look at the years in which he got all those runs, how many of those years were with Punjab Kings and how many of them were with Lucknow? One of those years was with Lucknow.
Yes, 22.
22 was with Lucknow.
Yep.
And the earlier years were all with Punjab.
Yep.
He got a lot of runs and his team didn't qualify. So finally, your runs have to make an impact in causing your team to qualify, irrespective of what support you're getting down the bottom. I have my own view on the orange cap. I think the orange cap is an outdated concept. You don't need the orange cap because the orange cap is not signifying how good you've been in the tournament. It's just saying how many runs you scored. It's not telling you how quickly you scored those runs. Because there is an anomaly with the orange cap. If you score a lot of runs at a certain strike rate, then you're not helping your side. So I don't mind a KL Rahul who comes out and gets quick 40s and gets them quickly. I don't mind that player at all, unless that side doesn't have people who can give the bulk to the team, and then he's got to play that. But anything under 140 today it's given. You have to be 140 plus.
Is he looking a bit lost, Kelly? Is he thinking, if I need to go to the World Cup, I need to play in the middle order, but my franchise needs me to open? Should he open? Should he not? Is there a lot happening between the 2 years?
I think he should open, definitely. And you can see there he's got some starts. A couple of occasions he's getting into the well and truly into the ballpark of where the strike rate should be. So it's like the game against Punjab there, 166, 15 off 9, so it's a small sample. But the Delhi game, so they're the games there where we're starting to go, okay, like you're saying, Harsha, that's impact. 39 off 22, 177. That's something that the rest of a team should be, if they're doing their job, be able to build on that. It takes 2 or 3 others to do that, and you're starting to really put together a good total. The orange cap one's an interesting one. I wonder, I should have done some research. I didn't know we'd get onto the topic, but how many, I guess the only concern about the orange cap is making sure that can they fit the winner's medal over the top of it?
Correct.
How many orange caps have had the winner's medal placed over the top of it? And probably the same for the purple cap too. So, but that's digressing a little bit. The other point you make there, and I think it could be consistent, and it's probably going to be hard to shut it down for the rest of the tournament, the narrative has to get away from who's going on the World Cup, how do they get into the World Cup. He's got to work out, like every other player in this tournament, how am I going to win this tournament for my franchise? How am I going to win tonight? What's my best? So I know there's this overarching sort of shadow of World Cup, but win the IPL, be the best player you can be in winning that IPL, you'll be on the plane. If you're in the narrative of selection, you'll be on the plane.
If he was scoring at 160, average of 40 opening innings, would he be in the queue for the World Cup?
I think if he thinks of the World Cup, and that's happened in your career and mine and everybody's career, if we start thinking of events that are far in the future, then we are not living in the moment because we are letting the future affect our present. So if he is thinking, if I do this and this and this and this, I might get into the World Cup side. What are you doing today though? So if you are thinking, I do this program well, then I go there, then I go there, then I go there, and there I am at the World Cup final and everyone's saying, Manish, will you be here? Will you be here? Manish, you're the greatest anchor the world has ever seen. If you're starting to think there, then what are you doing today? So I don't think he should worry about the World Cup at all. Because, I mean, I think I've never been in that situation, so a lot of people could look at me and say, what on earth are you talking about? But I think selections should happen as a byproduct of what you've done. So just focus on what you're doing, let the selection happen.
And we're the ones talking a lot about the World Cup, aren't we? So we've got to actually probably back off a fraction and go, we don't know if KL Rahul or any of the players that we discuss every night are thinking ahead to that. Maybe they are, but maybe they are just focusing on the game at hand. And let's hope so, because they don't need to be distracted by anything outside other than focusing on being the best you can be for your franchise.
Maybe it's just a talking point on cricket shows. Maybe he is thinking about his game very differently. And I really hope that KL Rahul gets to watch this clip with Harsha Bhogle and Adam Gilchrist talking about
he probably knows it already.
What he needs.
He probably knows it already. He's a genuine, proper world-class cricketer, so he knows it.
And look, and also, what I will say is I don't think there's much truth in this discussion that he was planning on batting in the middle.
You always wanted to open?
Yep. And it was never sidetracking from that, certainly from the franchise and the
He's got inside information.
Coach's point of view.
He's got inside information. Sadly, we don't have access to his WhatsApp chats. Who knows what we'll find out. But that was it from Harsha Bhogle and KL Rahul on their coolest advice of the match, powered by Crompton Air Coolers. Jaldi cooling is what KL Rahul needs. In fact, we've been asking you guys and girls to send us your coolest advice. And we've got two lucky winners who will get to see their names. What's the first one? Let's take a look what that advice is and who is it for. Puran up the order say the good boys. Is it a group of people running an Instagram handle? Try different bowling combinations to find the most effective approach for the upcoming match. We've got one more. That one's on Elon Musk's X. Renu Pansari or Mahima says, give Marcus Stoinis more bowling opportunities. Use his medium pace in the middle overs. Also says, keep trusting KL Rahul's leadership. His experience will be crucial in high pressure situations.
There's a couple of all-rounders of international pedigree.
Yeah.
And they might be going through form swings. But Marcus Stoinis is an all-rounder of international pedigree. Mohammad Nabi is an all-rounder of international pedigree. One half of their game isn't being used at all. And I don't know how it is with all-rounders. If one half of your game is not being used, are you under pressure to deliver in your other half? If you're constantly having bowling and batting, does that almost take the pressure of one of the two?
The only facet of Nabi's game is catching at the moment.
I know.
That's the only bit that's being used.
Right, lots being talked about Lucknow and what they need to do, what KL Rahul needs to do. I'm sure all of you are full of pieces of advice as well. So if you do have them, whether they are quirky, funny, witty, insightful, lots of technical gyan, we are very democratic. Remember, elections have started today in India, so we're happy to welcome your views. Send them to us with hashtag coolest advice to win big, and make sure you tag Crompton India on X as well as on Instagram.